Good day, everyone, and especially to our instructor, Ma'am Angel. And I will be the one who report, or I will be the one who discuss under the job interview, and this is what we call a lunch interview. So allow me to discuss to you about the what we call the lunch interview. So let me know what is the meaning of the lunch interview. A lunch interview is when an employer or recruiter asks you to discuss a job opening while the two of you have lunch. Then lunch interviews typically take place in a public spot such as restaurant or cafe. A lunch interviews differ drastically from other interview because this is a type as the interview takes place over a meal. And how to get how to get ready for a restaurant interview. So, let's try to figure out how to get ready or how to prepare for a job interview over a meal. Preparing for an interview is nerve-wracking enough, let alone when your potential employer suggests it over a meal. What should you order? How will the conversation go? And how can you highlight your strengths and accomplishments while trying to maneuver a mouthful of chicken piccata? When I interviewed for my current position, I had two lunch interviews. I was a first timer at this interviewer format and had little knowledge of what to expect. But I survived, and so can you. Here are a few things I'd encourage if you find yourself in my same position. So that's what said of these who write this article. Then how to prepare it? Do some basic research on the restaurant in order to figure out the location, menu, clientele, and noise level. Even if you've been to the restaurant before, take some time to review the menu and pick out a few options you might order. For example, kasi mayroong mga restaurant na malapit sa daan, 'di ba? 'Di ba maingay kapag nasa malapit sa daan lang. So mayroong mga sasakyan, mga motor na, na ano ba yan, dumadaan. So napaka-noise. So parang hindi siya pwede sa ganung situation for the interview. Then, next, I reduce the amount of time you spend looking at entry options. Time that could be spent engaging your future employer. So, napaka-importanting mapili yung place kung saan kayo mag-meet or saan yung exact na gagawin ang lunch interview. Next, remember that one of the hardest things about an interview over a meal is that you can't have notes available to refer to. At least not easily, anyway. So, you'll want to spend plenty of time beforehand outlining the key points that you want to get across and asking questions that you need to answer. Finally, dress the part. Though a restaurant might feel more casual than a conference room, you still want to wear interview appropriate business attire. When to get there in the interview. Plan to arrive 15 minutes prior to the reservation and wait for your interviewers at the front of the restaurant. This will prevent the hall. I wonder if they have a table yet. It's awkwardness. If you haven't if you haven't met them before, do a quick Google image search so you have some idea of who you're looking for. Want to order or what to order and not order. One of the trickiest things about the lunch interview is figuring out what to order. The best thing you can do is take the lead from your interviewers. When you sit down, casually ask if they've been to the restaurant before and what they think are good options. Hopefully, their recommendations will give you a sense of an appropriate price range. If not, when the wait staff arrives, try to have your interviewer order first and choose something at that price point or less. Also, be sure to pick an option that will be easy to eat while you're talking. And finally, no matter how casual your employer may be, you want to put forward your very, very best self. This means stay away from ordering alcohol, even if the interviewers do. If you get the job, you will have plenty of opportunities to share a drink with them. The interview is not the time or place to start. So, how to present yourself? An interview spent sharing a meal with your potential employers is typically more of a conversation than a question and a format. So don't be afraid to engage in a two-way dialogue. Yes, answer questions they ask you, but also insert any questions you have where appropriate. And know that it's okay if the conversation veers into more personal topics. For example, where did you grow up? That said, follow your interviewers. Lead and listen carefully, closely for when they switch from casual dialogue to questions about your fit for the position. Also remember that one reason for having an interview over a meal is that the employer is looking at how you present yourself in this setting and how you would represent the company in future social settings. So be aware of all those table manners. Sit up straight, keep your elbows off the table, maintain good eye contact, and don't forget to say please and thank you. So how to wrap things up. At the end of the meal, don't be worried about the check. The interviewers have invited you to the meal and therefore they'll pick up the tab. As the bill is being paid, make sure to ask about any next steps, which will help guide what you write in your thank you note. Yep, you need to write and after every interview, meals included. And also take time to genuinely thank you interviewers for their time and the meal, both as they are paying the check and as you leave the restaurant. Having a lunch interview is a good thing. It means the interviewers are interested in spending more time with you, and it's a great way to convey your skills and personality in a less formal environment. Be prepared and remember these guidelines and you'll have a great conversation. Maybe even a great meal as well. So that's what the article of the writer of this article. So let's go move on to our discussion. Then that's all. I think that's all for my report, and I hope that you have a lot, or you have learned from my discussion, from our discussion, or from my report. And thank you. That's all for now, and God bless everyone.